Hey you, how are you doing? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be reviewing an anime I didn't think I'd enjoy as much as I did, and I want to review it. So we're going to be talking about Rent a Girlfriend, which has a weird name, but the anime itself's actually really good. So if you love anime, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment on your favorite anime or your favorite scene within Rent a Girlfriend, and yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Japan to me has always been an amazing place. It's got so much culture, it's got weird and cool things that you can really enjoy. And they have services out there, like you can rent people, you can rent mothers, daughters, brothers, sisters, girlfriends for the day. And this anime focuses on renting a girlfriend, and dear God, it's such a good one. So when I heard about this anime, I had to watch it, 100%. I had to watch it, and I finished this within a day, and I loved it. It's not that long. I think it's about 12 episodes long, but 25 minutes each. But just after one episode after another, you want to know more through the entire thing. So this anime focuses on the main character, Kazuha, which is he's a 20-year-old student that gets dumped by his girlfriend, who it's Mami. But when I kept hearing the English version, all I kept hearing was Mommy. So that's how I associated this one character with just that name. So Mommy dumps him completely, and he can't get over it. So in desperation, he finds a website where he can rent a girl, and he meets up with her, and she does the entire whole girlfriend experience, and he loves it. He starts falling in love. They do coupley things. They go out for coffee. She holds his hand at the very end of the date. They go to an aquarium, and he absolutely loves it, until he gets to the point at the end of that day where he looks over and notices that everyone talks about the same sort of thing. Now, one thing is, Kazuha is a bit of a dick in this. Like, all the way through, I felt like I just wanted to slap the shit out of him at times. Because on his second date with Chizuru, he arranges to meet up and obviously do the girlfriend experience. And he starts questioning. He starts getting like, you don't like me. How dare you? You're using me. You're doing this. And all I did was, when I sat there watching it, going, but she's a rental girlfriend. You've rented her out for the day. Of course she's going to do it. She's going to treat you just like the others because that's what her job is. And he gets angry. So he finds out that his grandmother, who he adores a lot, has been put into hospital. So they rush off, and he tells Chizuru all about this. And then they decide to pretend to be boyfriend and girlfriend for hijinks. That's right, hijinks. And it's such a thing, because you know that these two are going to get together, and there's so many different elements with this to kind of bring them together. So this anime, as I've just given you the kind of small plot to it, is on Crunchyroll at the moment, but now I'm guessing it's going to be Funimation at some point as soon as it all kind of merges. But again, I just really wanted to talk about it. All the way kind of through this, we see that Mami or Mummy or whatever has a problem with Kazuya and Chitsuru actually having like a relationship, because they all think that they're going out. So she kind of starts having a plan to break them up, which is great for a couple of episodes, and then it stops all of a sudden. And I kind of thought that this would have been a very interesting plot all the way through. Every single episode you get Mami wants to kind of change things, and she wants to like break them up properly, but it just gets swept under the rug for quite a few episodes, and you don't see her again, which I generally thought was the main love interest, because that's it. Chizuru is meant to help Kazuha to say, hey, we're going to get you back together with your ex, and then let's do this. But it just gets swept under the rug, as it mainly focuses more on Kazuha and Chizuru. That's it. It just kind of really irritates me a bit. Why start up this amazing storyline when you're not going to utilize it until like maybe the last 2 episodes of the series? You could have had an ongoing thing leading straight into the next season, which I hope there is a season 2. The main turning point I thought would have been fine is that when Kazuya and Chitsuru actually turn around and say that they're splitting up because everyone thinks that they're in a relationship. And at the very end, they go on this boat trip, and Chizuru isn't feeling very well, so she falls overboard, and Kazuya turns around and actually saves her. And at this point, I generally thought that they were going to get together, and this would have been made it interesting because you would have seen how Kazuya turns around and reacts to Chizuru going on a date with other people in her business. But then obviously you've got the main factor of like, you know, he's just saved her life and didn't have to do it. These are things that you kind of put into kind of like steps when you see the anime, and thus therefore the plot could have been the main thing, that Mami wants to turn around and get rid of them and then steal her back. And then if you know what I mean, that's what it is. They get together, that's the whole like texture of the plot, but it just doesn't work. When I was watching this, I generally thought that it hadn't been finished because there's little scratches all over everything. Like you can have this like the beach scene, there's scratches on the film, and I was very kind of like, why would they put that in? That just feels a bit weird that they've left this sort of animation in. Now I don't know if it's meant to be something, but to me it just generally kind of made me think, is this a bootleg anime? Like someone's just ripped it and then they put their own watermark on it. I didn't kind of like that, but it was just very weird to see. Later on in the series, Kazuya spots Chizuru going on like kind of a date, what he thinks is a date, and he becomes a stalker type. And I didn't like this. I generally kind of felt like this didn't need to be in. It felt like he could have been this man. He could have been this character that everybody likes. You know, he's accepted what's going on with Chizuru, but it just doesn't work. And I feel like when he turns into the stalker type and he walks around and he starts kind of making assumptions, it just generally made me lose a lot of respect. And at the very end, when he's always apologizing, he's like, I'm so sorry. But it's in mostly all the episodes that he does this. As soon as he says something like, oh, she wouldn't like it if I went on a date with this one, and he apologizes. It doesn't happen. I say every episode, it doesn't, but it generally felt like the entire most of the thing, he was just apologizing. And he's like, I wouldn't do it. And then it's like, oh my God, she did this. I know it's a rom-com. I do. But I don't think it's a very good one at times. Like the story is great. The characters are great. But it's just when Kazuya just decides to become a dick and then starts like kind of moping about, it generally really kind of infuriates me. And his entire whole episode, this series, is he wants to get a girlfriend. So he meets a character called Ruka, and she is also a rent-a-girlfriend for his best friend. But she ends up falling in love because her heart rate goes higher, I think, than like 98 or something when certain people are about. So she falls in love and she devotes herself to him, and yet he treats her like shit. Like, hands down, he just doesn't care. You know, first of all, she's like, you know, you should go out with me, and then kind of cries, and then Chizuru says, yeah, just go for it. And this all could be avoided if Kazuya just turned around and went, hey, I want to date you, Chizuru. Would you go out with me? But for the most of the time, it just felt like it was a bit shit. And that's it. It just felt like Ruka, who was there willing to give everything to him, he just didn't give a shit. And it's like, I just want a girlfriend, and now I've got the cutest girl ever. And he goes like, wow, she's so cute. And then it's just like, now I've got her, fuck her, I don't want her anymore. The anime has a lot of good points in it. It does. It's a wholesome anime. I generally kind of really liked it. But I think there are parts where you see Kazuya and Chizuru actually do stuff. Like they start getting closer, they start building up a relationship, they start building that foundation, you know, especially where they go to the same college, they live in the same building, and obviously they kind of think about each other. But this anime does kind of hint at it and make you think about it, and then make you go, oh, so you get frustrated. One thing that did really irritate me in this anime, mainly the background characters, the family members and stuff, that when you see Kazuya actually get a girlfriend or be with it, they all mock him, they all put him down. Like, he may say something and then all these girls will turn around and put him down. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. And you're like, but what? Oh my God, I can't believe he's got a girlfriend like that. Oh, he must be doing something, he must be doing that. And it really frustrated me because I'm not quite sure in the Japanese version if they do the same sort of thing, but in the English version, it's not subtle. It's like you're putting this guy down for pulling a beautiful girlfriend, even though that they don't know that she's a rental. But it just felt like, to me, this doesn't need to be in, or they could cut this sort of stuff out, because it generally irritated me all the way through, thinking, what the actual hell is going on? Episode 9 starts to irritate me quite a bit, because at the very first part, Kazuya is over the top on a lot of stuff, and Rika is the exact same. They Kazuha explains everything that's gone on. And then in the second part, where they all kind of meet up with the family, she comes in because she's read his messages and knows exactly what's happening, which then kind of like makes me go, what the fuck? I would have explained everything there and then, rather than it be just like, oh, I've got to kind of go along. And Kazuha just constantly lies, and it just irritates me. You think that you would be able to pull this off and say, look, I've got something to tell you guys, and that would be in the perfect time to explain it, but it just kind of keeps going on, and it's an episode which I'm not really liking that much. Anime does go a bit in depth, but I wanted to go even further. Like, I want to know the life behind a rental girlfriend, so it would have been interesting to see maybe 1 or 2 extra characters going on the date, or how Chizuru started and what her kind of expectations were of it. Now, you do see other characters in this, but I feel like you could have delved more in depth onto the agency side, how it would have worked, how you'd had good people, bad people, and that would have been kind of a way to see how Chizuru acts, or how Ruka reacts as well. I think that would have been a better thing. I would have liked to have seen that sort of style where you would have multiple characters going on dates, seeing each date being good or bad, even weird. I think that would have kind of brought it in a bit more to me. And made it a bit more in depth. I know season 2 is coming out, so it would be really nice to kind of see that, but I really wish they left it on a cliffhanger with Kazuha expressing his feelings, going, I love you, Chizuru, and she is just about to say stuff, and it says coming in season 2, and I'm hoping that there is a season 2, and that's how it kind of progresses. That would have been the best way, but I can see why they would have done it, because in case there isn't. So but season 2 I'm really looking forward to. Every character had a unique element to them. If I had to pick one character that I didn't like whatsoever, it's Kazuha. He goes from making me like him to making me hate him to making him think he's an okay character. I just felt like either he needed to be up front, or like he needs to be written a lot better. Maybe in the manga he's a lot better, or in the light novel he is 10 times better. But in the anime adaptation, I didn't like it that much. I just thought he was a bit too much, he was a bit too annoying, and didn't really kind of bring anything to the table, and that's what I didn't like. Parts that I wanted to fix in this, because Kazuha says like he can't tell anybody, and he gets into these situations. So when he meets Sumi, and because Chizuru said, look, could you take her about? It's one of those things where everyone thinks that if Kazuha is talking to another girl, he is instantly cheating, and that kind of really irritated me on multiple levels. But it's when he's like, what can I do? Like, simple explanation. Oh, who's this? Oh, this is Sumi, my friend. We're just going out. She's new to the area. And it could have been easily done. She's a bit clingy. She's a bit scared. She doesn't know what's going on. And I thought that would have been a better to kind of explain on this, rather than just be like, oh no, what am I going to tell her? And then obviously Mami, it's so weird. I want to say Mami figuring it all out and going like, oh my god, and then it leads into the end of the season. I just feel like people could have easily explained stuff rather than get flustered and not being able to. The anime makes you want more and more. I think there are elements in this that make you go, you want to keep watching, that you're like, oh god, I need to watch more, and then it adds that thing. Even if the episode hasn't got anything interesting in, there'll be like a little bit at the end, one episode that you go, all right, I need to watch the next. And I like that. I like that in anime when it does that. Even in TV and movies, it makes you want to watch the next one straight away, because you don't want to be left on that cliffhanger. Sometimes the anime can do a U-turn and make the atmosphere different, and I really wish this would be in more animes that we see, because I would generally really love that. Now, suspense is a big thing. In this anime, I have found that it turns around and gives you all in one episode rather than spread it out. So you want to watch the next one. You're like, oh my god, I need to watch this one. I need to watch this. And it's fine, because that's what anime is meant to do. So for me, I was generally like, oh god, I need to watch this right now. And again, animes need to be a bit more like this. I kind of want to say that they wanted to go with a fizzy bottle type thing, where you shake it up and it's building pressure, and then suddenly it lets out in one go. Like, I would have liked to have seen at the very end of the season, like, Kazuha turns around to Chizuru and says, hey, look, I really like you, let's be boyfriend, girlfriend. And it's, yeah, let's do this, or I never thought you'd ask. And then leads into the second season on how Chizuru has to maintain her relationship with Kazuha because of the dating thing, and I think that would have been more interesting. I think that would have been a better lead into season 2, and then if season 3 happened, then it's the come down from it, because Chizuru says that she doesn't want to be a rent-a-girlfriend all along, she wants to be an actress, and I think that's how you would build up into the second season, to see how that they would react and how they would be. That's what I wanted to see at least, but I don't think it would have happened, which I think is a bit kind of I just wish they did. I am looking forward to season 2. I think that's going to be the best one for me, because we know exactly what's going to happen, so we know how the characters are, so it's jumping in straight away. But before you watch season 2, I would recommend watching this anime. It's on Crunchyroll right now, it'll be on Funimation, and it'll probably be on DVD, Blu-ray, and all that very soon. So when it does, I'll link it in the description. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think this is a great series. It definitely had me wanting more and more, so I want to see how the second season kind of works out next, and if it's going to be as good or bad as the first one. But I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts? Have you seen Rent-a-Girlfriend? Would you recommend it to others? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとう。チャンネル登録、高評価お願い。